I believe I am all set to go. Yes, that looks good. We are all set. What the fuck is that? Hold up. I am so glad that I paused.
Is that recording? Because I wish that caught. I hope
Yes,
that
it
caught.
did.
Man.
Yes, it caught. Hold up. What the fuck is this? What does Overwatch launch from?
Overwatch.
Yeah,
You
what does
boot
Overwatch launch from?
It launches from the Blizzard one.
What is the Blizzard app
I
called?
forget what it's called. Battle.net. That's what they call their launcher.
Battle.net. There
Yeah, that's
you
what they
are.
call their launcher.
Screw you. Like, literally, the second I was about ready to start talking, a little notification popped up in the bottom corner, and it was like, hey, this person wants to play Overwatch. I'm like, what? Jesus. Okay, we're good
Does
now.
B still play a decent amount of Overwatch?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I can't believe that happened, though. Whoa, okay.
Was it one of those audio
It popped up in the bottom
notifications?
corner, and it went, huh? And I was like, what? I turned off all notifications. And then I realized that it wasn't like a Discord thing.
No.
I prepared for like everything. I turn off Windows notification things, like if a USB unplugs or plugs in, it goes boop boop boop, like that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I turned all those off. I mute every notification I could possibly get on Discord. I thought that I was ready, and then Battle.net turns on. Jesus Christ.
I didn't even know Battle.net had audio.
I didn't either.
Ping to their notifications.
We are back. I am a liar. This is Goku or Go Home, and thank you for your patience. I thought that we'd get an episode out before New Year's, but here we are, post New Year's, like a couple of assholes.
Yeah, the week before New Year's, I actually caught the COVID. So even though this dude was like, "Hey, you want to try recording this week?" He's like, "Yeah, let's do it." I'm like coughing my lungs. I was like, "Well, I can."
Yeah, I was like, hey, if you want to try doing it, that's fine, but I'm stuck in Wisconsin because of a snowstorm. This isn't going to work out the way that I thought it would. Put it off a week. My name is Alex, and I clearly don't know how to budget my time.
And I'm Phoup. Clearly doesn't have strong immune system for this year.
I always said, Phoup, you gotta wrap it before you tap it, and look what happened.
It was one time, Alex.
Wait, is that's the virus that everyone's talking about, right?
Wrap it.
It's a wiener virus, right? Okay, I'm glad that we cleared that up. The name of the game is Goku or Go Home. This is episode 7. Goku or Go Home is an episode-by-episode recap of the original Funimation dub of Dragon Ball, while also being Phoup's first time viewing. If you notice, I have a new microphone, so a little Merry Christmas to me. If you can't notice, I mean, the microphone quality is not all it's cracked up to be.
Okay.
It's one of those Siren Elites.
Alex got like the bigger brother version of what I have, which is like the Siren Mini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How I got it was my brother sent me a text, and he said, "Hey, I'm looking for a new microphone. What do I get?" And I said, "Well, what are you using it for?" And he said, "Well, what do you use it for?" And I said, "Well, this is the one that I have. I got the blue snowball. It works well enough for what I have, but really what I would want is like the Razor Siren or, something like that." And he's like, "Oh, interesting." And then he gets my dad to get it for me for Christmas.
Oh, really? I thought your brother was gonna like. This is the one that's in band, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought he was asking me. I'm like, well,
Okay.
this is what I use, but for you would want something different, I'm sure. Some sort of studio recording mic might be
That's what I was thinking too. I thought your brother was just gonna be like, "Nah, let's get you something professional grade level."
So, come Christmas time, and I open up this box, and here it is, something fancy for the new show.
Yeah, I think it sounds pretty good.
I'm glad.
Um,
Unfortunately, that does mean that we had to retire Proofy 2, my soundproofing box that was around the old snowball.
did you not have to use the soundproofing box for the new one?
This one's so nice, I don't have to. Like, I ran a test on this. Like, I started recording. I went into like 2 rooms over into the kitchen, and I started
Hmm.
stomping around, opening up the dishwasher, jingled around some like silverware or whatever, and then all of a sudden I came back and I sat down and I had to crank it up like 15 decibels just to hear a little bit.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
it's
pretty
very
impressive.
nice.
I really like mine as well. The issue is I'm not too sure about how to work with audio too much, but it only picks up my brother in the back when he's playing video games, and you just hear him just talking or screaming. Wait. Do you even notice that you can hear his keyboard?
I did hear that during one of the recording sessions. I'm like, wait, is someone back there? And you're like, oh yeah, he's typing something on his computer. I'm like, I can pick that up. What are we talking about again? The show
uh,
is Goku or Go Home, where we watch Dragon Ball, and we watched episodes 25 through 28. And this is the end of the tournament saga.
mhm.
So let's get started with episode 25, Danger from Above. And I'm
This
really glad that we started with this one because we get a recap of the standings of the tournament from last time. It's
I actually forgot what
yeah,
episode we left off on.
like I knew Nam was there, I knew Jackie Chun was there, but for whatever reason, I thought Krillin didn't fight Jackie Chun for whatever reason. I
Oh,
like
I
I
remember that at least. I forgot the flying dinosaur dude was even in the fight.
Girin,
Yeah.
yeah, screw Girin, he's boring. So just to recap, Jackie Chun, who is based and an original character, has been steamrolling his fights and even beat Krillin, and so he's going to the finals. Meanwhile, Goku grew his tail back and is moving into the semifinals where he's going to square off with Nam, who is also based, and there is not a bad character left in this tournament. I like all of these guys.
It's a pretty good way. It's a pretty good set of episodes, and there's a lot of action going on with these fights. And this is what I was looking forward to as well.
So you were really stoked to have the finals coming up here.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm glad
And
because like
and I remember you asking me who I thought was gonna win. Man, this was tough actually.
last time you had said either Nam has to win to save his people, or
Hmm.
Goku has to win to kind of complete where he was going with it.
Hmm. But it was really hard to say because I really don't know. I really didn't know how they were gonna go with this, and it was even better than how I thought it was gonna go.
Really?
In
Well,
my opinion. In
let's
my
get into it
opinion,
then. Right
'cause it was
before
pretty funny.
what?
Oh no, I was just talking about how funny it was.
It is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Right before the match begins, the announcer reminds us of the prize that's at stake: 500,000 zeni, and Nam instantly flashes back to like his family and what he's fighting for, and they're just really appealing to you right out of the gate. Like, you don't know who to vote for. Nam needs this win because of his family, Goku, who's worked so hard to make it to this point, or Jackie Chun, who wants to humble Goku. Like, in a reasonable way. Like, he doesn't want Goku to get too big for his britches.
Okay.
At this point, I was like, I wonder what Nam's training is like. Like, we didn't see any of it happen, so he just kind of showed up as one of the baddest motherfuckers that we've seen in this show.
Hmm.
Like, you'd think that we'd get just a little bit of backstory for him, but he's just crushing it. They ring the bell, and Goku immediately tries to go in for the kill with a move that Jackie Chun used to beat Krillin. And I can't fault him for trying to end it as fast as possible, but Nam is so based. He just closes his eyes and dodges. No fucking problem. He's just too good. He's too good of a fighter.
No, honestly, this is probably the most I've seen. Like, I've seen Nam actually like fight compared to the fight with what was her name?
Ran fan.
Ran fan. Yeah.
Yeah, I remembered like, oh, I really like Nam. Nam is so cool. And then the Ran fan fight happened. I'm like, yeah, that was pretty all right, but why does Nam stand out to me so much? And then I remembered I was mashing together the two fights. Ran fan and this
Really?
fight together, and I'm like, that's why, because he's so good in this fight. They start trading blows, and they seem evenly matched. Nam makes Goku like hobble around with one of his hits, and then he gets sent flying in retaliation. But I mean, that's nothing to Nam. He can like jump off the arena walls, and he chops Goku in the fucking neck. And like, Nam is one of the first people to actually be able to hurt Goku. Like, sure, you've had people that could like bonk him on the head, and like Yamcha could beat him up, but he was like tired and hungry. There was always some kind of stipulation in every single fight before this.
Mm-hmm.
Someone was cheating, he was hungry, he was tired, whatever. No, this is just a straight contest of skill and strength, and Nam karate chops him enough to hurt him. Nice! Nam tries to finish the fight early on, but Goku's tail can trip him up.
Yeah, like sweep them.
Yeah, he sweeps the leg, and yeah, it causes him to fall.
That tail must have either a really high whip force or just pure strength.
I think it's pure strength, because remember, Goku can hang from it like a monkey?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, and in the last episode, he was kind of like balancing on it like a kangaroo would.
Mm-hmm.
Goku talks to himself and is like, I need a plan of attack that'll throw him off, and then proceeds to immediately tell Nam his plan. He's like, hey, I thought of a sweet new move. And Nam goes, huh, neat. What's it called? And Goku starts spinning around in a move that he calls Tornado! And Nam's eyes bulge out. He's like, what the fuck? He's like spinning at him like he's a Beyblade. Twice. Using the same animation. Like, Nam gets struck, hobbles back and gets into a fighting pose, and then gets struck again only to hobble back into the same fighting pose. Normally, that would bother me. Like, it was doing it one right after the other. But it's really well animated and smooth. Like,
Thought you were pretty cool with it.
yeah, I was like, you know what? This looks fine. It looks good. Nam's cool. He backs up to dodge Goku's attack until he gets to the edge, and right before he's about to get hit out, Goku stops the attack because he is too dizzy. He just collapses onto the ground, which I don't think I ever expected him to say, oh boy, I think I'm gonna puke.
That's honestly what I kind of expect him to say. He's always doing these crazy moves.
He's always just fine, though. Like, every time that he does a crazy move, he always ends up okay. Like, this one, it just had immediate negative repercussions. I don't think Nam expected him to say that either, because he almost, like, does the anime goof fall, where they say something silly and then they fall backwards. He almost, like, Goku almost weaponizes that, because he almost falls out of the ring. So Nam is ready now to end the match, but he's cautious of Goku's tail, so he decides to bust out his signature move, the aerial attack. And he jumps 4 stories into the air. And you know me. I only care about math when it's done in Dragon Ball. So that's about...
calculate that.
He's about 56 feet into the air, which is pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
He starts diving, and he crosses his arms into an X, and he just crushes Goku in the neck. Just, like, you see it, it stops for a couple of frames, and you just hear, like, a caw, and it just snaps him. And he goes, I don't want to harm you, but I have a family to take care of. Crunch. Like, the screen glows red. Oh, what an attack. He gets up. He bows and he puts his palms together and he asks for forgiveness because Nam's not a bad dude, and he reminds the announcer to start counting.
It's really funny because the announcer is always so late.
I keep a tally.
Like he's great at his job, but he's slacking sometimes.
He's too big of a mark. He loves the business so much. He is so invested that he just loves the fights. He loves watching.
I don't really blame him either.
When you see a guy fall 56 feet from the sky and karate chop a 12-year-old boy in the neck, you might be taken aback just a little bit.
Good God, it was a. What do you do when you see that?
Well,
do you start counting?
One of the rules was if you kill your opponent, you're disqualified. And so I think maybe there's that brief moment of, oh God, he's dead. He's not dead, but the move is so strong that it's supposed to knock you out for 8 to 10 days. Like, what a move. No wonder it's his signature attack. Right before they hit the 10 count, Goku hops back up. And would Nam have won right here and now if the announcer had done his goddamn job and started counting right away?
Yeah, that's why I'm making fun of it, because it was... I swear, they just used this as a running joke.
I was going to say, I kept a tally, and I want to say it happened at least 4 times. We'll see as we go. Nam is flabbergasted that Goku is still conscious. He cannot comprehend how his best attack failed. But, like, what's to stop him from doing it again? Or doing it and then tossing Goku's unconscious body out of the ring? Nam thinks that his execution must have been wrong, so he rockets into the sky to try again, going even higher than before and busting through clouds. Now, we've had dragon math already. Are you ready for dragon science?
Okay, what? I have no idea.
You don't know where we're going with here?
Yeah, I have no idea where you're going with this.
Check this shit out. Nam jumped through clouds, okay? Mm-hmm. That's high. How high? Depends on the cloud. The lowest hanging clouds, aside from fog, are nimbostratus clouds. And while I don't believe that he's launching through those, let's give Nam the benefit of the doubt and keep things simple and say that they're supposed to be nimbostratus. This means that Nam had to jump at least 2,000 feet into the air. Can you imagine? The nimbostratus clouds are some of the lowest hanging clouds that we have, and Nam jumped through them.
I'm not gonna lie. This is where I thought this is where like aerial fights would start. That you'll always see in like Dragon Ball Z.
And yet, no characters can fly.
Get out of hand. Yeah.
Goku decides to join Nam and also launches into the sky right as Nam preps his aerial strike attack. Serious music starts playing as he dives down, and then Goku passes him, and you get that boink sound as he notices, and the music stops. They do the thing where they swim through the air. They're like dog paddling and like breaststroking through the air. Mm-hmm. And Nam tries fighting him in the sky. This was where I had to write down a reminder. Nobody here can fly.
No.
They're just falling. They're in fighting poses, like they're on the ground, and they're falling. Unfortunately, Goku lands first and catches Nam's attack by cutting him off with a kick, which sends him flying out of the ring, meaning that Nam actually loses. And Goku sucks.
That kick was probably the first hit that actually I felt like looked like it hurt a lot. Mm-hmm. Because it really dug into Nam.
It dug into him, like it slowed down, and like you feel it, you see it on his face, like, oh, this is it. Mm-hmm. And why do you have to go and do that to Nam? Come on.
No, I was like, it would have been cool. I would have been cool with Nam winning, but I felt like he would have been in good hands. Because, what was his name? Jackie Chun.
The original character, Jackie Chun?
Yeah. Was it Jackie Chun? I don't remember. That read his mind from the previous episodes, yeah.
I think that Jackie Chun would have thrown the fight. I think he would have thrown the fight if that was the case. Mm-hmm. It was about this time that I noticed something.
What's that?
While the camera was panning across the crowd, I saw a guy who looked like Sherman Priest from that early episode.
No.
And way in the back, there was a guy that looked like Frankenstein's monster. Just a Frankenstein-looking motherfucker just hanging out back there. And I'm like, yeah, Dragon Ball World.
Dang, I didn't pay too much attention to the crowd this time.
There was a lot of nobodies, a lot of like faceless masses that you usually get when they do crowd shots. I always try to keep
Hmm.
my eye out for like, oh, is there a bear man? Is is there something crazy out there? But yeah, just seeing the Sherman priest, that Einstein looking motherfucker, and then a Frankenstein in the same shot. While this is going on and the match is finishing up, Jackie Chun's watching and he's like, "Oh shit, maybe I can't beat Goku." Nam gets back into the ring and looms over Goku and he looks real fierce, but then he smiles and he shakes his hand because he's an honorable dude and he's a good sport about it.
Yeah, good guy.
I can still be angry that he lost, though. Like, he might be a better sport than I am because, I mean, I just want a show about Nam. I want to see what he can get up to, his adventures. Back in the locker room, I don't really know what to call this fighter's rest area. Anyway, back in there, Yamcha tries to get into Goku's head that somehow Jackie Chun is Master Roshi, and even Krillin's sick of hearing it. Like, Yamcha, you're trying my patience here. He's already proved not to be Roshi, so get over it. Why are you laughing?
Nah, it's just dumb because I was watching this episode when I was eating at a restaurant with my brother, and so there was one part that got me really well. Now my brother, he's already watched a bit of Dragon Ball, but he stopped at episode 60,
Mm.
and he was laughing at me because I mixed something up.
You mix something up.
Yeah, we'll get to that point here soon.
Okay.
Though.
Yeah, okay, you've got something for me. Since Jackie Chun is a Chad, of course we've already established this, he goes and checks in on Nam and hands him an empty storage dino cap. And then he explains that he could fill it with a shit ton of water if he wanted to. Nam is shocked that he knew, like, that his family needed water and asks how he could know. And Jackie replies, "Mines are just like books, Nam. They're easy to read if you know how." Which is a hell of a power move. Like, just saying that you can read minds. And then suddenly, for whatever reason, Nam is spouting the same nonsense as Yamcha. He thinks that Jackie Chun is Master Roshi. And I cannot imagine how sick of all of this Jackie Chun must be right now. Like, he plays along with it just to shut Nam up. He's like, "Shh, don't say that, they'll learn my secret. Ooh, ooh." Jackie,
So
you
dumb.
don't have to do this, okay? You can prove that you can be a separate entity from Master Roshi. You don't have to play into these guys' crazy conspiracy theories. I feel bad for him, okay? Jackie explains that Goku is a great martial artist, and that's why he needs Goku to lose. Because if he already was the best of the best, then he'd lose interest and give up on the craft. It's a sincere and well thought out line, and I think that adds another level of nuance to the story that so far has really just been Goku is strong and therefore good.
Yeah, kind of like an Unga Bunga type of mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like now it's about self improvement more than just being strong to be strong. So now Jackie Chun has got a goal. Now he's got to beat Goku to humble him, like the Iron Sheik humbled Hulk Hogan. Hogan was at the top of his game, nowhere left to go. In comes Iron Sheik in the camel clutch, and now there's something to beat. You gotta tie the two together. We also get Jackie Chun saying, "I don't want Goku and Krillin to know how good they truly are. That's why I came to beat the pants off of them." Which is a great line. Nam tries to give the capsule back because he doesn't have any money to pay for water. But they walk around back to find a well where Nam discovers that water is free.
Yeah. Imagine that.
Poor guy. He entered the tournament to get the money to get water, and he didn't even need the money.
It would have been a bonus.
I'm sure his family really could use that money regardless.
Mm.
Before the final round begins, Jackie Chun asks Nam for a favor and has him sit in the crowd in a Roshi disguise. So now there's a Master Roshi out there to finally get Yamcha off his back. Can you fucking believe the hoops that this poor man has had to go through to get some fucking peace and quiet?
So when I was eating at the restaurant, I looked over for a bit and I turned back. I was like, when the fuck did Master Roshi get so dark?
Nam fooled you.
And my brother is just laughing because he's already watched Dragon Ball, right? And I'm like freaking out. I'm like, wait, was Alex right this whole time? Was that not Master Roshi? But we just went through that scene, right? With Nam and Jackie Chun. But I didn't realize first. I missed a little bit, so I had to go back and like see that Nam had to dress up as Master Roshi. So I legit thought Jackie Chun was his own entity.
He is.
And Master Roshi would just suddenly just got darker out of nowhere.
He's out in the sun. He needs tan.
So I like choked on my food for a second, and then Nam finally like makes his exit.
Yeah, he makes his exit and he takes off the disguise. And oh, what an exit that he makes too! Like he walks through the crowd.
Exit. Yeah.
Nice and slow. Like the champion leaves undisturbed. Pour one out for Nam.
But like I paused it. had to like and I started processing everything. If only I just didn't pause it and just waited for that exit to happen, it would have made more sense. But I paused it and just started like talking to my brother. It's like Alex was right. Alex was right.
I am right.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Alex was right.
After so many people accusing him of being Roshi, he just played into it and lied. Like, now he's pretending to be Roshi and roping poor Nam into it, and now we have Master Roshi, Jackie Chun, and Nam disguised as Master Roshi. Unbelievable. Yamcha goes to Goku and Krillin and has a fantastic exchange. You guys, I was wrong. Master Chun isn't Jackie Roshi. And Goku says, Yamcha, did you hit your head? As the final start, Nam takes off to go get water and save his village. And here at Goku or Go Home, we salute our heroes when they're written out of the script. And this is where Nam makes his big, grand exit. And I'm not going to lie, this was one of my favorite episodes so far. But I'm probably just biased because I love Nam so much. And you know what I thought of? Like, as he was walking out, and as we had that, like, goodbye Nam moment, in the back of my head I thought, when was the last pee joke that we've had?
Not for a while, to be honest. This arc has been
it's been more serious.
Yeah, a little bit more serious. I think the only time there was a joke was the piggy one, near towards the beginning of the tournament.
Well, Bacterium was kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
I'd say that's about as close as we got.
Yeah.
But with Nam's exit, that leads us into episode 26, the Grand Finals. And I like any time the announcer tries to interview with any of the fighters, and they always give him absolutely nothing to work with. Like Goku stretching and prepping for the fight, and he asks for a strategy for winning, and Goku does not know what a strategy is.
It's just dumb jokes like those that always get me. It just destroys my common sense.
Well, what I like about it is like the announcer has to still do his job, and he just kind of goes like, okay. Like Goku's working out a bit, and he says he's just going to do his best, and the announcer has to play it off like, wow, what a boy of few profound words. And then he goes and asks Jackie Chun the same question, and he's just asleep.
It's always the reaction too when it comes to Goku, where it's just so dumb. My favorite one is still when Master Roshi's thrown that rock, and Goku's like, "Are you gonna eat that?" It's like, what? No, Goku.
He has to kind of like do a double take. Like,
yeah, it's always the double take reactions.
The match starts up, and Jackie just hoofs it towards Goku, which he easily dodges, but it's all just a ploy because Jackie does a reverse kick in the air and just crushes Goku's back with it.
No, that I honestly thought that they were gonna start the fight off really slow pace. No, they just started going right at the action.
0 to 100 as
Yeah.
fast as Jackie Chun could. He goes flying off, and he can't use his Nimbus to save himself this time. And he's thinking about what to do, and as he's, like, being sent off into the sky, he's sitting there in the sky. And he's just, like, in a pondering pose. Like, his legs are folded. He's got his thumb on his chin. Yeah.
I lost my shit at this part, too. Because I was like, there's nothing he could do. He can't use it. He's got his tail.
Mm-hmm.
But how are you going to use your tail? Yet again, he destroys common sense. My common sense. As Goku is just in this pondering, sitting crisscross, arms crossed as well.
It's such a good pose for him to be sitting in. He's like, well, what am I going to do now? Can't use the Nimbus.
And Goku, this child, is like God. Like, the crowd can't even see him no more.
Yeah, I want to say when he got sent flying away, they did the whole, like, sparkle in the sky thing.
Yeah, like Team Rockets and
Yeah.
Scott. and then of course, it pans back to Master Roshi about saying, about danger is always, like, security's, like, worst neighbor or something like that. You're gonna have to quote me, or
I haven't written that one down, but it's something similar where it's like
Something
security is the next door neighbor to danger or something like that.
Mm-hmm. But I didn't understand what kind of effect they were going for when they panned him like 3 times while saying that. Unless that was just my video being wonky.
No, I think maybe, now don't quote me on this because I don't actually know the original like script for it or the dub or the original Japanese, but maybe it was like he's thinking the same thing over and over again, like, oh, I have to stay focused, I have to stay focused, like that sort of thing where he's like repeating it, and that's why it like gets closer and it like re-cuts through it. Don't hold me to it, but that sounds reasonable enough in my head.
Now after that scene about Jackie Chun's lecture about danger, you know how I didn't pay attention to the crowd?
Yeah.
Well, this time I kind of did. Where the crowd, there's one guy who's like, dog. He grabs the dog guy's head and turns it. He just says dog, points to the sky. He's like, what is that?
Oh yeah. Okay. I do have one more note. I have one more note before we get to this. It's just the announcer singing Jackie Chun's praises left and right, and he's standing there and he gives the double peace sign. He goes, it's what I do. But yes, the rest of the gang, they're moping about since Goku lost, and then yes, I have someone in the crowd points to the glint in the sky. This must be what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what he said. Exactly, but I heard him just simply saying dog. And
Dog!
he turns the dog's head into where he's pointing.
And what do we see? Goku is flying by spinning his tail like a helicopter. And it's working. And the best part about it, and I write down every single time this happens, because it's his theme, When Mystic Adventure kicks in,
that was
Goku's
fun.
winning. Like it plays
Now,
and Goku is slowly making his way back to the tournament stage, and like it might be one of my favorite sets of episodes that we've done because this is fantastic.
Yeah, this was a really fun set that I've watched. I want to say I really liked episode 26. And as Goku is flying with his tail, the only thing I can compare this to like visualize it is Sonic the Hedgehog sidekick Tails flying.
It's like the same pose.
It's like the same pose.
His butt's kind of like held up in the air a little bit. He's got his arms tucked in. Oh, and Jackie Chun is not too happy. He's getting pretty worked up by Goku's playfulness. And Goku's like, yeah, I could have gotten back even without the tail. I would have just used a Kamehameha, like you.
And he was like offended by that.
Yeah, he like immediately he snaps at him and he's like, "Oh well, I'm the inventor of the Kamehameha," and Goku's like, "Master Roshi invented it. What are you fucking talking about?" And so Jackie Chun has to scramble and think about what makes his different, which involves balancing, stretching, and aerobics.
You know, I thought they were gonna pull a fast one on me, where he was just gonna be like, "Yeah, my Kami wave is a little bit different. You gotta just balance." And I thought he was just gonna straight up just shoot him with the Kami hot. I thought he was just gonna like sucker punch him, but with a Kami hot.
Nope, he just goes into a whole like, "Oh no, mine's different. You see, I first I balance and then I stretch and then like he does like 3 stretches and then I do some light aerobics and then and it's all really well animated, you know, like it's very smooth.
I don't know. I was just on my toes because I thought he was just gonna shoot it without warning. Because my cousin Tommy does this thing where, you know, we're playing video games, we're playing stealth missions, and there's 2 guards, there's 2 of us. You got to take him out, and he's like, "All right, on go," right? You know, when you say on go, you shoot. You usually go 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah.
No, this guy just says, "All right, ready, go."
I'm not ready for this.
I was waiting for a countdown. So that's what I was like. I was getting ready. I was getting ready for the Kamehameha.
And you know what's funny is you actually get this.
Yeah.
You get exactly what you're talking about later on down the line. It doesn't play out the way you think it does, but you get it. At this point in the match, they both start calling out the Kamehameha, and they attack and the blast beams, they just collide, and we get the first beam struggle in the entire series.
Yeah.
Like
from that, I was like, this is a great episode.
It's so like knowing what Dragon Ball Z is and watching Dragon Ball up to that point, you start to see how it forms and how it gets these different ideas, and it's like, oh yeah, that was good. Let's make that but bigger. Let's do this idea. And so slinging Kamehameha waves and having them like attack each other was a completely fresh idea way back in the day, and now it's used in like every episode of Z and Super. You know, every big fight they do some kind of beam struggle. But now it's fresh.
I was just having a blast that Goku was able to like show how strong he is, you know.
Oh yeah.
Like this was like pushing Goku to the limit to see how far he can go.
He goes all out in this episode, or in this set of episodes. The beams explode and they knock everyone back, and they're seemingly matched in power, and everyone is freaked out about this. Even Yamcha goes, "It's not me, right? That was really scary, right?" Jackie Chun is shocked that Goku could learn in a day what took him 50 years to master. And again, this is just more proof that Jackie Chun is not Master Roshi. Master Roshi already knew that Goku knew the Kamehameha wave. Like, he literally saw him blow up the car at Fire Mountain, remember? You think that Master Roshi would just forget something like that if he was Jackie Chun in disguise? No, this is a completely different person. People need to think. Jackie concedes that Goku is a powerful fighter, but it will all be over with his next attack. He uses the same trick that he pulls on Krillin, making an afterimage of himself, which Goku recognizes. And when he tries to attack the real Jackie, it phases right through him, and he gets attacked from behind, just to be sent into another pillar and have it crumble on top of him. Jackie calls it the double afterimage. And I really like how the second afterimage was him sticking his tongue out at Goku just to goof on him.
Yeah.
Like, he knew he was going to get attacked. Again, though, the announcer doesn't start counting and has to be reminded.
Start.
He's like, stop gawking and start counting.
I think it would. I think he actually would have lost if he started counting here too. And guess what? Who comes? Who? And guess what happens? Goku arises from the rumble because the ref starts counting late.
He gets up at around 8.
At around 8, okay.
He straight up steals Jackie's moves.
You're just gonna go straight to it.
Yep. Goku has only invented the tornado attack for himself, so every other move he's taken from someone else.
Yeah, I really like Jackie Chun's reaction. He's like, "Oh, you got me, cat."
Yeah. He tries to copy it, and he busts out the triple after image. And by doing this, he's able to land a good old double axe handle to the back of Jackie Chun's dome. And he even has the audacity to say that he came up with it himself.
Because it's the triple take.
A fucking child. Jackie must have some kind of concussion from this attack because he says, "New rule, no hitting your teacher in the head." I mean, why else would he say something like that? It's gotta be a concussion. He's gotta have his head scrambled with all those conspiracies that Yamcha's been whispering into his ear, and then he gets this head hit, and the poor guy's not good. He's struggling. Goku deduces that Jackie must be Master Roshi's brother, and Jackie Chun produces a family tree to prove definitively they are cousins. He just has it on him. After they do that little family tree bit, Jackie starts hobbling around the stage like he's drunk, and he throws Goku off guard, landing some serious blows while disguising it as sloshed wobbling. Yamcha recognizes the technique as drunken boxing and warns Goku. We also get more dragon lore about Grandpa Gohan here, because drunken boxing was one of his specialties. Does this mean that Grandpa Gohan drank a lot?
When I heard that, I was like, all right, so it's either Grandpa Gohan's like legit fighting style, or he was just constantly just hammered.
Because Goku's like, "Oh, I knew I recognized this. My grandpa used to do this one all the time." And I'm like, "Ooh, you all right, Goku?" But this fighting style seems to be working really well because it whoops Goku's ass for a while.
Yeah.
He cannot have an opening. Like, he just gets he gets kicked in the face. He gets slapped around a bit. Like, he doesn't have anything to go against it. Goku runs away. Goku runs away to the edge of the ring and starts twitching and fidgeting, and he turns around to reveal his new fighting style, the crazy monkey technique.
Now, I don't know what got him into this. Either he's trying to imitate it, or something happened.
Both of them have been in quite a few fights in the past 24 hours, I think. They're starting to lose it. With Goku's tail, he's able to maneuver and attack in unconventional ways, so this is actually a pretty effective fighting style. Also, it's playing Mystic Adventure, so he's effectively invincible.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he got a Starman power up in Mario, and he's just like... He's able to kick Jackie Chun through a fucking wall, which is pretty strong. But of course, that's not enough to beat based Jackie Chun. He starts worming his fingers in his hands, and he ominously states that he's already won. And calling it in the ring makes it like some kind of pro wrestling move.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like Stone Cold Steve Austin saying that he's won the belts before doing a Stone Cold Stunner. Like, it's fucking choice.
Stone Cold Stunner.
The background swirls and his eyes start glowing, and then the episode starts closing out. And can you imagine getting hyped, having Jackie bust out a raw line like that, and then realizing that you'd have to wait a whole day to watch the next episode? Like, I was so ready, I just jumped right in. Like, I wasn't even gonna wait.
After Jackie got kicked, or like smashed into the wall, he looked like he was done. He wasn't done. He wanted to finish this.
Oh, he was ready to end this child.
Yeah.
you know what is the most crazy thing about all of this? The fucking narrator's in on the scam. He calls Jackie Chun Master Roshi in disguise. What the fuck? I cannot believe this.
I don't exactly remember a lot of what the narrator says, but I felt like the narrator had a lot of input for these set of episodes.
Part of the reason why it's so nice to have the narrator was just like us coming back from like a week or two of not being able to watch the show. One, they catch you up really well.
Mm-hmm.
Two, they kind of lead you into the next one in a really good way. I feel like some episodes they just go like, "Oh, who knows what's going on next time on Dragon Ball or whatever." But in this particular set, they're like, "Hey, here's what happened this episode. Here's what's gonna happen next episode. You don't want to fucking miss this bullshit." And I'm like, you know what? He's right. I don't want to miss this bullshit. But with the narrator's closing statement on episode 26, we get into episode 27, which is Number 1 Under the Moon? And that one starts off with Jackie Chun still waving his hands around and groaning in a way that I wasn't comfortable with. He was like,
I was trying to pay attention to the hand signs he was making for these.
He was flashing gang signs at people.
Yeah.
Goku waits, and he's got this good determined face. Like, his mouth is just an upside down U. Like, he looks very determined, but his face is like... Jackie Chun's eyes flash white and lightning strikes, and then he starts hypnotizing Goku. My personal favorite suggestion is, you are a sleepy boy. And Goku zonks out in an instant and collapses face first on the stage. What a move. Jackie Chun calls it the sleepy boy technique.
It was silent.
Oh, it's fucking phenomenal.
All you hear is Goku falling and just smashing his face on the floor.
It's a nice, like, hearty conk sound as he just lays him out. Jackie Chun declares himself the winner, but the announcer is hesitant because he claims that hypnotism isn't a martial art. But I think if the Sleepy Boy technique is considered a classic, quote-unquote, by a martial artist, like a martial arts master, I'd listen to him. Give it a pass.
Now, this time, he was really taking a long time to count, too.
He took forever.
He was like, this is very anticlimactic.
Yeah. You really want the fight to end like this? He's like, I just want the fight to end.
Are you sure? What about the crowd?
Yeah. Think about the crowd.
What about the crowd?
Tell them they can suck it. The announcer concedes, and he starts counting up, and he even gets to 8. But then Bulma, of all people, manages to wake Goku up by saying, "Goku, your dinner's ready!" And then he just explodes back up to his feet. And in all the excitement, I kind of forgot that Bulma was there. I wasn't expecting her to be the one to figure this out. But more importantly, this is like the 3rd time now that a match could have been called early if the announcer just did his job. Mm-hmm. Goku now feels emboldened since he's been promised a big victory dinner and starts his own assault with the rock, paper, scissors attacks. But Jackie Chun is able to block every single one because he's an old pro. And Goku tries it again, but he calls out paper, and he throws a rock punch, which clocks Jackie in the face and lays him out on his ass. That's a fucking dirty trick.
A little bit, but...
That's like...
I ain't the ref.
Like, one, yes, the ref, could have ended this far sooner, but doing an attack like that, that's like... Have you ever played Pokemon with somebody, and they name a Pokemon a different Pokemon, and it's like, oh, they're going to send out Mewtwo next. And you're like, oh, Mewtwo, okay, I've got something that counters Mewtwo. And then you send out a Pokemon that counters Mewtwo, and then they send out Charizard named Mewtwo.
Like the card game?
No, like Pokemon, actual Pokemon game.
Oh, that's so dumb. This is my first time playing Pokemon.
Really?
A Brilliant Diamond, yeah. I didn't even know people did that.
Yeah, you can change the name of your Pokemon, and
That's so
when I
dumb.
was in high school, I played against this one person who like they renamed this Pokemon, let's just say Doug Trio, which is of course a ground type, and I'm like, oh, Doug Trio, I've got a water type. I'll send out Fraligator, and so I sent out Fraligator, and then they sent out like fucking Electabuzz, and I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, I knew that you would switch to a water type, so I sent out my electric type. I'm like, fuck off, dude, you fucking suck.
Yeah, that's. I never knew that. I always thought I never knew Pokemon games. I don't know if they do it now, but because I haven't played online yet, but I didn't know that they would use the name of the Pokemon that like the nicknames.
Gonna send out fucking butt nuts. See how you deal with that, little bastard.
Oh, I didn't know how salty you felt about this move.
Listen, it was an emotional time for me. You know what high school's like. You were there like what, yesterday? What are we talking about again? Oh yeah, Dragon Ball. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we're talking about how he did like a dirty sucker punch.
yeah. Everyone starts cheering, and in her excitement, Bulma hugs Oolong, who takes the moment to motorboat Bulma. Like, there's that classic Akira Toriyama creeping through. Way to go, boys! You brought him back from the brink. He's just face first in her chest. And it's making like a sound.
That the yeah, I didn't know how to explain that sound, so I'm glad that you were able to do it at least.
It was about this point when I noticed that the time of day was changing, and like the once blue skies were now a brilliant orange. And then immediately after I made that note, the announcer calls out that the sun is sinking lower into the sky. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I thought I noticed a cool detail, but no, you just want to make it blatantly obvious. Jackie Chun thinks to himself, I have no choice now but to use the technique. Sure, it's dangerous, but maybe it won't kill him. Which is a great thing to roll the dice on when you're fighting a child.
my kill my my killing technique.
Yeah, maybe you'll survive. Whatever. Again, he calls the match in the ring and says that this is only the second time that he's used this technique, and the first time was on Grandpa Gohan himself. And it's supposed to only be used in emergencies when no other techniques would work. And this tells us that Grandpa Gohan must have been one badass motherfucker. If it's only for emergencies when nothing else works, and this is what he had to use, must be pretty good.
So like when Jackie was gathering all this energy into his hands, right? Turning all this energy into like what was it, 12,000 volts?
Oh, I made sure to make notes of every single step of this process because I loved this sequence. Yeah, he rolls up his sleeves and he claps his hands together, and after some straining, he looks like he starts emanating stinky green energy. Like it makes a sound similar to Bacterian. Like whenever he would smell, it was like wow, 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 wow. I'm like, yeah, stink attack. But then that's when his hands start to spark and flash, like you were saying. They're also glowing green.
Mm-hmm. I thought Jackie was just gonna walk up and just start choking the shit out of Goku with those hands.
No, that's like maybe not choking him out, but like, wouldn't it be cool if he walked up and like he now had like electric kung fu hands, so every time he would attack him, he would like shock him or whatever.
I can see that.
It'd be like
For some
punching
reason.
somebody. It'd be like punching somebody with defibrillator paddles. Like that's what I'm seeing in my head.
I didn't think that far. I thought, like, I really felt like a menace vibe coming from Jackie, to where he was gonna just put a child on a
In a chokehold.
in a chokehold, like in those electric chairs, but in his hands.
He's like, God damn it, Goku.
Which he kind of did in a way, because once he shot Goku with
That's right.
the energy that he was storing up for these 12,000 volts, he was able to pick up Goku at
Lift
the end.
him.
Yeah, like lift Goku up with this energy of electricity, and you just see him just putting more power into it. It's like, Goku, you better give up. You gotta say so. Don't be foolish.
Don't
I
be a
will.
fucking
I
idiot.
will. I will kill you.
Yes, this whole move is called the Lightning Flash Surprise Attack. And he's just like,
I forgot.
he's just force lightninging him like he's from fucking Star Wars.
Yeah.
And yes, it's not 12,000. I have written
What was
down
it?
20,000 volts of electricity. And
Oh, that's
anytime
funny,
they throw
okay.
out numbers, I get curious. So I want to ask you before I answer this question. How many volts does it take to kill a person? Without looking it up, just gut feeling.
Oh man, I don't know, cause one of my buddies is an electrician, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it takes a lot.
Throw out a
I don't
number.
think it. I don't even remember which one's the voltage. Let's
Well, this
see
is
here.
20,000 volts.
Because you know how some old houses with their electrical boxes, some of them aren't always grounded, right?
Yep.
So he like touched one wire, and then he accidentally brushed the other one. So his body became what
Conduit?
connected the
Yeah.
two. Yeah, and there was just a loud sound. So I want to say, like, I don't know, like 30 volts, 40. I don't know the measurements of voltage.
Well, the Lightning Flash Surprise Attack is 20,000.
Mm-hmm.
And just under 50 volts is more than lethal enough to kill a grown man.
Oh, I was pretty close to like 40 is.
Yeah. Yeah, 40 to 50, somewhere in there. That's more than enough to just straight up murder a grown man. Might I remind you, the line before he busted this move out was, maybe it won't kill him. 20,000 volts.
Oh man. And the thing is, my buddy, right, was helping out his other friend.
Mm-hmm.
And after that fiasco happened, his buddy was like, "Oh yeah, here, just take this bottle of whiskey. I think it was whiskey." Almost died
Take a bottle of whiskey.
for a bottle of whiskey. Still one of my favorite stories from him. I just love how Jackie's telling Goku, it's like, just say it, give up,
Yeah,
I will kill you.
give up, you're gonna die. Goku refuses and he sticks out his tongue, so Jackie just pumps up the juice.
and like everyone is telling Goku to give up. Like he's had a good run. Like
Yeah.
he did fine Goku. And
Goku
Goku is
refuses.
like, Goku just still refuses. He's like, I will never give up.
And Jackie
Until-
just surges the power again. He's like, fine, you want it? You want it? You're gonna fucking get it. Voip.
Oh. And as I'm watching this, I'm like, either Goku gives up or he somehow breaks out. Little did I know how he was going to break out.
Yes, everyone's proud of him for sticking with it, and there's no shame in throwing the towel, and he's literally about to. He's like, fine, I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna do it, until he looks into the sky and is met face first with a full moon. And I'm like, yeah, time to chimp out again. You know, with the tail coming back, you just knew that this was bound to happen at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Did you think it was going to happen in the tournament?
I didn't think it was going to come back this early.
He starts to transform in the air, and Bulma, Oolong, Yamcha, and Puar are like, shit, fuck the moon! And Krillin's just sitting there with this huge, like, bug-eyed expression. And Jackie Chun, who is still pumping him full of electricity, has a really funny read line like, Goku, what are you doing? Like, he has control over it. It's very accusatory. He's just like, come on, what the fuck?
Oh, man.
The announcer, who is still commentating on this fight, calls the transformation a fighting technique. He's like, I've never seen this fighting technique before. I'm like, come on. Transformation is a fighting technique, but the sleepy boy technique isn't.
And as Goku is just going full ape mode, Jackie can't even he's like, I can't even leave the platform or else I'll lose. Goku's just destroyed everything.
And the announcer says, like, he stays there and he's telling people to run and says that he would run too, but he has to be the referee.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you're committed to the job, but if it were me, I'd bail. Like, without a doubt, I'd get out of there. And yeah, you had said that Jackie Chun was stuck in the ring, and I thought, hey, what about Goku? He's busy smashing that one building. And then it cut to the stage, and he actually still has 1 foot in the ring. I was like, what? They're actually keeping continuity in the rules? I think that if you transform into a giant ape man, I think that maybe you should postpone the match. Jackie Chun is determined to not let Goku hurt anyone, and he throws off his karate jacket like he's getting into some big clash in a Yakuza game. Like, it's a really cool animation, too. It zooms back out, and Goku stomps his foot forward. Like, it's a cowboy showdown.
Mm-hmm.
Good shit. Yamcha wants to pull the same stunt as last time with having Puar turn into the scissors. But Oolong points out that Jackie is bulking up and he's glowing with power. And I'm like,
oh, yeah.
What's the old man doing? And Jackie calls this one the Kamehameha maximum power and starts charging it up. And I'm like, here we go. Yeah, I remember what happens.
Now, as they're predicting that this Kamehameha was about to fuck shit up.
If you remember,
I thought everyone was going to just blow away.
If you remember, the last time we saw a Kamehameha where someone bulked up this big was Master Roshi blowing up Fire Mountain by accident.
My house!
My castle!
It's broken!
Oh yeah. So yeah, this was gonna fuck some shit up if this was maximum power. Yamcha rushes in to try and stop him because he thinks that Jackie intends to kill Goku.
Mm-hmm.
And he's too late. The blast blows everyone away and blinds the screen for a bit, and then it goes quiet. And while everything's quiet, Giant Ape Goku is nowhere to be seen, and everyone immediately goes into mourning mode. Even Jackie apologizes, saying that he only did what had to be done. And this is a really downer way to end the episode, because, like, the somber music kicks in, and, like, the announcer's like, what about Goku? And I was like, had to fucking do it to him, dude. Our good friend Goku. This leads us into episode 28, The Final Blow, which is the last episode of this set and the last episode of this arc.
Mm-hmm.
And the narrator starts us off, and he's like, Jackie Chun just killed our good friend Goku. How will we get to say goodbye to our loyal companion?
I just love how they were. I love
Jesus,
how they were
dude.
They were just shitting on him too. It's like, you killed him, you
Yeah.
bastard.
Literally everyone is just like, you killed our friend. And after
Jackie
all
is
that
like,
drama,
I'm sorry, but it must have been done.
it had to be done. I had to do it to him. Listen, if he had tapped out early, this wouldn't have happened. With all the mourning over losing Goku like this, my first real note of the episode is that there's a staging error. Yamcha ended the episode, the previous one, running up to Jackie Chun after the crowd had cleared out. But now the crowd's back, and he's behind the wall with Bulma and the others. And I'm like, yeah, I'm that jackass who's pointing out those inconsistencies. Everyone continues to yell at Jackie Chun. And he's like, whatever, look over there. And revealing a little monkey tail under the rubble, and a collapsed Goku falls out of it. And Oolong says, and that's a naked boy. Oh. And he sounds a little too interested. Not terribly comfortable with Oolong in this scene.
I just love how they just had Goku's ass as as what they'll show in the panel.
Yep. He just falls out, ass out. Jackie Chun reveals that Goku wasn't the target of his Kamehameha wave, and slowly points to the sky, stating, "That was..." And nothing is there. Nothing is there because Jackie Chun blew up the freaking moon! The announcer calls it being de-mooned, which is a great way to put it.
but what's even funnier is that they still shit on him. It's like, the moon, you bastard.
The announcer, he takes it extremely personally. He's like, Jackie Chun has done a reprehensible thing. What will light up the sky at night? What about romantic moonlit walks? What about the Wolf Man? What will he howl at? And Jackie Chun, for the 4th time in this tournament, is like, do your fucking job and start counting.
While the naked child is down.
Goku gets up, of course, and Jackie chews out the announcer, which is a reasonable thing, I'd say. He would have won like 3 times by this point.
Yeah, at this point.
He's so tired of all of this. They start the match back up, and Jackie's looking winded, but before they can really go back at it, some girls in the audience are distracted by Goku's weenus. And one of them is the weightlifter girl that Goku found for Roshi. Remember her?
Yeah, I remember her.
The big one that was like, I want to play.
She's like, out.
Like, she says, I shouldn't look, but I am. Goku says, what's wrong, sirs? What are you giggling about? Oh, I get it. You must be girls. They pause the match to get Goku some clothes, and he swaps with Krillin, who almost gets Goku to realize that he turned into a monster. But he doesn't even really understand what Krillin's talking about. He's like, man, you're weird. Listen, I got a fight to get back to. And this next part is the part that you were talking about. They get back into the ring, and the match starts back up, and Goku seems to be hungry for a second. Like, his stomach crawls, and he goes, oh man, I'm kind of hungry. And the second that Goku drops his guard, Jackie Chun's like, drop your guard, time to kill! And he's like, he tries to throw out another Kamehameha.
It was out of nowhere. And I actually wasn't ready. Regardless of me saying that I'm always on my toes now, because I thought it started de-escalating because he just blew up the moon.
He's like, oh, you let your guard down. Yeah, he tries to throw out another Kamehameha, but he's so weak from blowing up the moon that it just kind of farts out of his hands. He's like, nothing really comes out. Goku recognizes that he's out of energy and also throws a Kamehameha of his own, which he knows that Jackie will dodge, and he's going for the ring out. Mystic Adventure kicks in, and it really looks like Goku's got him on the ropes, and Jackie jumps, dodges, and Goku jumps up and kicks him, and there's nowhere for him to go, and he can't shoot Kamehameha to get back into the ring, and there's this loud crash, and everyone begins to cheer that Goku won the tournament, and Jackie's like, hold up, my feet haven't touched the ground yet, and they inspect closer to find that his toe is wedged into the side of the ring, holding him an inch off the ground. I love the fucking shenanigans. Jackie Chun is officially unstoppable. He gets back up onto the stage, and they're both super drained at this point, and they admit that they don't have any more tricks up their sleeve. It's just gonna be a martial arts beatdown at this point. And the announcer states that this match has been going on for 4 hours. And I'm like, good God. I'm surprised that Goku's able to focus this long. They start tearing into each other, going back and forth, taking swings, dodging, and some of these sequences are really well animated. Like, they have the camera following them along the floor and tracking them as they trade the blows. Like, they didn't have to animate the floor moving like that, but they did. Because it does kind of feel like, oh, this is the end of this season, the end of the arc
Yeah.
or whatever. So it's like
It's the
they're
final
going out
blow.
on a bang.
It's the final blow.
It's the
But
final blow.
we just saw Goku turn into the ape that he is. We
Mm-hmm.
just saw Jackie Chun use maximum Kamehameha.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what else can they do?
They can do the final blow.
Yeah.
You get a couple of hard-hitting still frames where they just pound each other while playing like the heaviest hitting sound effect that they have on file. It's just like, and they're at this point they're just covered in bruises. And Jackie starts thinking to himself that if he doesn't finish this soon, he'll be too tired to continue, and he can't think of any moves to use since Goku's body is just so fucking small. Like, oh, he's too small for a headlock. He's just a tiny torso with stumpy little limbs. But this actually gives him an idea on how to take Goku out. And Jackie goads Goku. Like he kind of uses his eagerness and pride against him a little bit because he goads him into a final charge. He's like, "All right, one final charge. What do you say?" And he's like, "Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I'm gonna do that." Like, why do you have to listen to him? They both start charging at each other. They jump and they do a flying kick for what looks like a double knockout. Like they kick each other in the face. And everyone starts cheering for their favorite fighter to get up. And I particularly like the old cowboy in the crowd that goes, "Get along there, Jackie Chun!" I wonder what his story is. Why is he here?
I don't know.
I liked him though. They get in the full 10 count, but they decide that there can't be a draw in the finals. So the first person to stand up and claim that they're the champion is the victor. And
Yeah.
I find it funny that one of the conditions is that you have to declare yourself the victor.
Goku would have won if it was just the stand up. But
Yep.
no, you would have to say
I'm the champion.
those words. I am the champion. And as they're like panning both of them, Goku is actually like struggling to get up.
Well,
And
they both
I'm
are.
cheering him on. Yeah, they're both getting up, but they were focusing more on Goku at 1st. And as he gets up in stance, he says, "I am the champ." You just hear him and then he just falls.
He falls backwards and like
Yeah.
he falls in the same position, so it's like he's standing with his arms at his side and then he just collapses backwards and he's smiling like
I don't know why he's
satisfied. He's like, "Yeah, I did it, but didn't actually do it." So it doesn't count. This gives Jackie Chun time to stand up, and while it looks like he's about to fall over, he gives the double peace sign and says, "I'm the champion! I'm the champion! That's right, I am the champion!" There's a gong, rainbow sparkles behind him. Jackie Chun is the goddamn champion, and there's nothing you can do about it. I remember, last episode that we went through, you had said Nam or Goku, and how did you feel about Jackie Chun winning the tournament?
Honestly, I'm not surprised either. But I am really happy how it ended, though.
I was when you had said, "I think it's gonna be Nam or Goku," I'm like, "Yeah, Nam or Goku, huh? Sure." It was really hard for me to go or hold in that snicker.
Yeah.
Like you picked the two that don't win.
Because Goku was one syllable away.
He was one.
And
He
that
almost made
was
it.
really funny. Because I thought this was a really unique way to end the tournament, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because instead of just having it done with just the final blow, no, they just ended it on a stupid, like, struggle.
That being
Which was
said,
great.
that being said, it would have ended like 4 times prior.
If the guy actually counted.
After like the second time of the announcer not counting all the way, I would have knocked Goku out and I would have picked up his body and just thrown it out. Like, "You're taking too long." Toss. Everyone cheers. Jackie explains that the only reason why he won is because his legs were longer so he could kick deeper and that is the only reason.
Yeah, that was like his only chance too
Mm-hmm.
to actually like, because Goku was like a tank.
He had enough energy to throw out one more Kamehameha.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Everyone's
I
throwing things into the air. Hats, bottles, a baby tossed up in there as well. Goku feels a little bit down, but he's a good spirited kid, and he's not a sore loser. So he comes around and he also cheers for Jackie. And he tells him that he's going to train every day to become as strong as him. Which is good, because that was the original plan. But it's also bad, because he's like, so that I can come back and kick your ass later, okay? Promise me, right? And the announcer closes out the ceremony by saying, safely fly home and watch out for stray dinosaurs. And I was like, oh yeah, dinosaurs.
Yeah, there are dinosaurs in this world.
How do I
But
keep forgetting?
but what got me was Goku's walking into the building that he just destroyed, going full ape shit.
Yeah, he walks in there, he's like, wow, maybe there was an earthquake. I love that he's still like completely oblivious to all of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking good. Fucking good.
But Krillin also like questions him. It's like, how do you turn into a monkey?
You can tell me. I can keep a secret.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're fucking talking about, dude. Fine, keep your secrets. Goku and Krillin run off to find Master Roshi, and this scene threw me for a fucking loop, okay? Jackie Chun rips out all of his hair and changes his clothes and starts talking like he is Master Roshi.
Oh
Like,
my god.
he took way too many hits to the head. He says, I make so many sacrifices for my students, and what do I have to show for it? Nothing but a truckload of prize money. I am so very selfless. So, here's the deal. This new Master Roshi, he thinks about what he's going to do with 500,000 Zenny. And he starts to imagine porno mags and bunny girls fawning over him. And I gotta say, for replacing the old Master Roshi, this new guy's got the shtick down pat. Like, it's like the old one never left. Nobody can seem to find him, though. And Krillin says that he even looked through every bathroom stall in a 7-mile radius
Oh my
trying to
God.
find Master Roshi.
I didn't catch that one. Oh my god.
Listen, either man's got a shit, or he's trying to watch someone else shit. Either way, Krillin knows his master well. Bulma says, did you check all the ladies' stalls? Which I think was the implication, but I like mine better. Roshi reappears and claims that he was just trying to get an autograph from Jackie Chun, but the line was super long. And he gives a speech to the boys, hammering home the lesson of self-improvement is a never-ending journey. And, like, I think that's a good lesson for this arc.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they started off training, and here they are. They're not at the end. This is only the beginning, he says. And they're super excited to keep going, and that was the whole point of the tournament.
Yeah. Honestly, I would say it's just the fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And as a reward, of course, they all decide to go out to eat. And Goku starts drooling so much that there's a puddle on the floor around him, and it legit looks like he peed himself in excitement.
Even Master Roshi is like, ugh.
Yeah, because he swallows for a second, and then it keeps flowing out of him. And he's like, oh! Maybe I should have killed him. They go out to eat, and of course, Goku eats like an idiot, as he always does. But what caught my eye here was there was a whole-ass pig on the table. Like, it looked crispy and cooked, but the head was still on there, and it had X's for eyes, which, you know, standard cartoon stuff, I understand. But Oolong was right there? Don't you think that he'd be a little upset by that?
Honestly, I feel like he'd be offended for at least like a second and then move on. He
Like-
sounds like that type of person.
Phoup, I want you to imagine that you're going out to eat. You go to a fancy barbecue place. You got pork sandwiches, you got ribs, you got all these things. And then they bring to your table, it's an all-you-can-eat barbecue place. They bring to your table a fully cooked human with an
dibs on
apple
the
in
ass.
his mouth.
Called dibs on the ass.
I'm glad. I'm glad. You made the right choice. That's where all the good meat is. When he's finally finished, Goku ate a total of 57 full course meals and asks for more. Oh!
And he like changes his mind. He's like, "Well, maybe I'll have room for dessert instead." And
Oh, yeah.
everyone just like collapses.
They do the
But then,
funny anime fall.
yeah. But then this is when I realize who's gonna pay for it.
The total bill comes out to 470,000 zeni, which almost completely drains the prize money. And this whole thing was pretty much a wash. And remember when there was a long time ago you had asked, what does it cost to feed Goku to keep him well fed and happy and everything? You know, because he's been ransacked. His fridge, it was completely full and then it was empty. How much does it cost? Well, apparently 57 full course meals, which doesn't even fill him up all the way. 470,000 zeni.
Oh man. If I had to take a wild guess of what that would be in dollars, I would say like it'd be a 1-to-1 ratio.
I don't think it would be 400. I think zeni
Because
translates into yen. You know what? I'm gonna double check
uh
something. I'm gonna double check something.
because sometimes I would get some big tables at the restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for for about like 20 people, if you said 57 course meals, right? I think they ordered maybe at least half of that, like maybe like 20 dishes, maybe a little more. It came out to be about $800
Mm-hmm.
for that whole table because I don't remember if they got alcohol or not because can get pretty pricey, you know.
So I'm looking here, and of course this is today's money, not 1980s Japan money.
Yeah.
But it says 470,000 yen is worth about $4,055 in some odd change. So this
Okay.
this whole
So
meal
I
was
was
$4,000 roughly.
okay. So I was thinking about like yeah, I was guessing that much, which is funny because that's actually pretty accurate. I would say 57 bowls including the rest, which is like 60.
Hmm.
I would say that can get pretty accurate if each meal was like between $20 to $30. You know, if I do the math here. Food
Historical U.S.
20.
charts U.S. dollar to Japanese yen in 1980. I can't read this bullshit.
Oh, never mind. If each bowl was like if each bowl was like $20 and he ate 57 of them, it'd be about $1,000. I guess that means the food at my restaurant it's kind of pricey then. Damn.
If I'm reading this chart correctly, then it would be about double.
Okay.
So in 1980 money, it would have been about $8,000 worth of food that he ate.
Oh jeez. That's like a down payment.
And Roshi lost it all. The narrator ends it off with like, hey, looks like Goku got to spend the prize money after all. And then he warns, in the same breath, trouble is already brewing on the horizon, and the next adventure is soon to come. Which ends us off nicely, I think. It really closes out everything that we know so far with the show in a nice, neat little bow. It also has me excited because I know what the next saga is, but I don't remember how it gets moving, like how it starts. So for the first time, I'm kind of flying blind. Next week's episode is going to be like I don't remember any of these episodes. Like I looked at the episode names and I'm like, nope, sorry, got
Okay.
nothing. The next saga is technically broken up into 3 parts, but they all kind of work towards the same goal. So I like what a lot of this next part does, and I'm curious because based off what you've said in the past and what you've said today, I'm kind of curious to see how everything will fall into place for you as we go on. But I did have a big question. With the
What was
tournament
that?
over, how did you feel about it compared to the previous arc? You know, with gathering the Dragon Balls, going on the adventure, stuff like that.
Well, I would say with this tournament arc, you kind of get to learn more about people in this universe are capable of, kind of like gauging their strength, you know.
And as Master Roshi had said, there's always going to be someone stronger. There's always going to be more to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I think it really does set the stage for everything going forward.
Mm-hmm. So with that, it really helps you decide on how strong Goku's gonna be, and maybe in the future I'll compare him to how he is now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
So
It was just really fun watching this one, but I would say it wasn't. Of course, it wasn't as adventurous as gathering the Dragon Balls. I think it's hard to compare because I felt like they were going for two different things
yeah,
with these
there's
arcs. You know?
I guess apples and oranges. You have
Yeah.
adventure or combat kind of.
Hmm.
I really like all the tournament sagas that they have, or the combat focused sagas that they do. Excuse me, the dog just growled at me. Give me 5 seconds and I will put him out.
Does he see something in the sky?
I sure hope not. We're supposed to blow that up. Get down, make brown, dog.
Is he good?
Oh, I think he got it all out of his system.
Oh, I see.
I don't remember what I was talking about. So, let's move on. It's so stupid. He did this at the very end of the fucking episode. Coming up, we have a new adventure. And with that, 4 more episodes, which are 29 through 32.
Mm-hmm.
29 is The Roaming Lake. And that's going through to The Flying Fortress. Vanished! And I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah, what he's smoking, bro. Wait. Quick afterthought.
Yeah.
Is that rabbit in the moon dead?
Oh, they did blow up the moon. And I don't think that he made the bunny treats for all the good children on Earth. So I don't think Goku went back for him.
Did Goku just participated in a murder?
Is it murder if you don't know? It's like I don't know why this thought came to mind. Let's pretend that they're closing up a mine shaft and they're blowing it up with dynamite, and for whatever reason they don't know that those rotten kids, they went exploring in the mine shaft and they blew it up and killed the kids. Are they culpable for murder?
That's a good question. I don't want to say nothing. For God knows what. I don't think anyone wins in this situation.
Jackie Chun won. Do you have any other final thoughts before we close out, my dude?
No more final thoughts. That's the last one I was just thinking, because I was actually going through Twitter and I saw some pictures of fan art of people doing what's it called, commissions.
Yep.
For some reason there was a commission of the rabbit, and that's when I remembered.
Monster Carrot.
I remembered him. Yeah.
Or I forget what his Japanese name was, but it was like literally rabbit that transforms you into carrot. It's like, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's right. Well, if nothing else, then we will be back next week with more Goku or Go Home. Or I'll totally just goober it up again and we'll have to put it off for another week. Who knows what'll happen? Maybe I'll get sick. Maybe you'll have a test. Maybe my computer will explode.